Hello. We on.
I'm hearing the theme music.
Yes, we're on. Look, we're all miscombobulated. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy 100th episode.
Happy 100th
Reliving.
episode.
I know Christina was supposed to be on here today, but I was like, no, I got it.
No, but you know what? Okay, honestly, and I'm not just finished. Let's wait for the applause. Thanks, Daniel. You know what? I feel like, okay, look, we were having conversations before we came on, and I'm not just saying this because of the conversation, but when I was thinking 100 episode, and I was thinking where I started, I was like, I need to have Deontay on. And I'm so happy that he was available. So.
Well, I love you.
I love you too.
Can you take us back to your first episode? How were you feeling?
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, I just need to say one more thing. And we're not used to saying things how we feel when we're friends, but you are literally my safe space.
You're my safe space too. You're not gonna have me crying on here.
Okay. We're gonna move on. 100 episodes. Okay. So first episode, I was not doing all that. So a little background. So when I was working at a different place, I was supposed to start a podcast with thanks, Mom. I was supposed to start a podcast with some coworkers, and things just wasn't working out. Timing and everything wasn't working out. And so Deontay, we were talking. We always talk. You always have to have a friend you can check in with.
And our check-ins might even be us just sending each other memes.
Yeah.
About dreaming big or thinking bigger, but.
Or sending a song.
Right.
My first episode, he sent me a song, Light Up the Light by Vivian Green, and that helped calm my nerves.
It's called Light Up the Universe.
Oh, my bad. Light Up the Universe.
She got it, though.
Okay.
She's lighting up the universe, and she's been doing it. That's how she's here. So
sometimes you just have to have friends that really inspire you. So I was supposed to start that. So that didn't work out. And me and Deontay was talking, and he's like, "Well, honey, you could do your own thing. You could start your own stuff." So then I started Woman on the Rise. And it's just like things like that. And then I started working, walking in my light, lighting up the universe.
Okay.
I slipped like
as I was still lighting up everything.
And so then I started working for Clean Greens, and that just happened organically. And then this came about. In the first episode, I was scared. I was nervous. Like, people are going to see me. People are going to hear me. And you sent that song, and wow. Oh, look at me. Look at.
Oh my God, look.
Oh, honey, I have.
Shout out to Robin.
Hey, Robin. I have elevated, honey. Look at me. Ooh, and my makeup has gotten better. Anyways, okay, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about.
But it looked good, though.
It looked good for that time.
So who are some of your memorable guests?
Janet said, "Hey, Deontay."
Hey, Miss Janet.
I've had so many memorable guests. But one that really stuck out to
me. So I've been feeling a little stressed out, but I'm good now. You got to surround
yourself.
We
were both flying. He's like, see what I was talking about? So one of my memorable guests, it has followed me through, and I swear to you, is Lanisha.
Okay.
She's
powerful.
Powerful. And she was on here, and we were talking about Black history. And happy Black History Month. We are deep in the trenches of Black History Month. I've been working with the youth, and I'm gonna have a list of movies and documentaries you guys should check out next week. But I'm all focused on learning about our history as people of color and people who have paved the way. But one thing she said that has stuck with me, and I have been working on it ever since, is getting to know your family history.
Yeah.
Getting to know who you are.
I just seen that. One of my friends, Jeanette Cordova, just posted, make sure you're interviewing your great-grandpas and your great-grandmas before something happens to them. You need to know everything about your history. And that has really been instilled in me.
One thing I regret is like, okay, well, my grandma died when I was 6, so I wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with her. But I do remember her. And for me to not remember a lot of things, I remember her. I remember, waking up, my mom's laughing. She's like, she made you breakfast? I remember her making me breakfast. I feel like that's where I got my love of oatmeal from. I just remember following her around, always being in her room. We live with them, so I will wake up in the morning and go climb into bed with her and my grandfather. My grandfather died when I was 19, and I have some regrets with that. Like I had the opportunity to go see him before he passed, but I was 19. I was like, what? I'm home alone. Bye, Mom. I'll pray for Grandpa. I regret that.
Yeah.
But what I plan on doing now is I do have some members of my grandmother's family, because I know more. I'm learning more and more about my grandfather. It's always about the men, but I'm trying to learn more about my grandmother, and she has a sister that's still alive, and I think an aunt that's still alive that I want to sit down and have conversations with and get to know her through their lens.
Okay, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And they would be proud of you.
You're
walking into your purpose. And I mean, you are preaching, but you are taking it, you're taking your community service, right?
Yeah.
Of being of service and totally elevating it into a different lane that is still the same as what they have been doing.
Yeah.
So you should be really proud of yourself. And shout out to Sister Annette and Lanisha, who will both be ordained.
May 12th. My mom is getting ordained, and Lanisha, I don't even want to mess up her name. I will mess it up. But she is the CEO of NAM. NAM. They are being ordained as ministers May 12th.
Yep. May 12th, the day before my birthday. That must be nothing but God in it, because you've been praying for me over the years. And God said, before his birthday, here you go. Congratulations.
So we're going to go to his house and we're going to lay hands, because you're going to have a new level. But I do love that I am acknowledging, as I get older, I am a walking legacy of my grandparents.
Yeah.
So the speaking, the writing, the community, like I'm not as where as Annette and Pastor Jeffrey is with their community, because they be giving they last, honey, and I'm just not there yet.
Yeah, but I think you are, though. I think that you do it. You don't realize that you are doing it.
Okay.
But you do it.
I do it. Okay.
That's going to be that's a friendship offline conversation.
Yeah,
she does it.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for sticking it out with me. One of the things that come up in my mind when I think about 100 episodes is, there was a lot of self-doubt going on. She said, thanks guys, but my baby is like her grandma. She says I get the sweet nature from
it's March 12th.
Oh, it's March 12th. Thanks, Janet. March 12th. But thanks for letting me know when Deontay's birthday is. No, just joking. but what was I saying? Oh, but self-doubt.
Yeah.
Self-doubt was trickling in me, even up until now, 100 episodes in. And I was reading this book, and it talks about listening to this book. And I just want to say this before we go into what we have Deontay here for. It was talking about self-doubt. Self-doubt, you have to stop and listen to whose voice is that you're listening to in your head when you think self-doubt. Is it yours? Is it your peers? Is it your parents? Is it someone who was telling you you couldn't do it? Recognize that voice and dismantle it. And another thing it was talking about was, okay, you have self-doubt. You can't do this now, but how can you learn to do it? And if you're doing it, how can you learn to do it better? So that is what I've learned. And it came on time for this 100th episode when I'm still over here like, oh, that didn't go so well. Oh, this didn't do. But it's like, no, we made it 100 episodes, honey. Thank you, Daniel, for showing that clip from the beginning. Until now, to see it's just good to see like where you came from and where you're going.
Yes.
But now we're gonna pivot and stop talking about me and start talking about this light, this little light. Daniel is on it with these backgrounds.
Daniel, you playing.
Right. We're talking about this little light, this little community. Well, not little, because we said we don't say little, because he is huge in the community, and in my eyes, in my kids' eyes.
I love y'all.
When we talk about community, Deontay is like leading us and showing us the way. And I love when Coriel comes back to educate everyone about his Black community.
Okay.
And I can think that
whenever I go take her son out, he always comes back to Bri and says, you know what we did with Deontay in the Black community today? Hey, friends, have you been to the Black community? Y'all need to be in the Black community.
Yes, he did. He
and
asked his friend. He was like, have you ever been to the Black community? But
I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. So tell us what's going on. You're a community organizer with Vocal.
Yeah, Vocal. So Vocal, Voices of Community Activists and Leaders has been around since, I believe, well, it's been around since Vocal New York, which back in the day, but 2014 is when they started kind of shape-shifting in the areas of creating policy change for community members who have been impacted by HIV, substance use, mass incarceration, and homelessness. I really enjoy this specific job because it's also taking me out of my comfort zone, right? It's not just about case management. What about the policy change that impact the impacted? So I do a lot of community discussions and open forums. Currently, right now, we know that we have the 3rd district currently held by Kashama Shawant. Community needs to be picking who that person is. We've watched so many people utilize Black voices in our names and take over, but we need to know, how have you helped the impacted? Because whoever has been of service in that space is going to be our next representative. And it should be community members with living experience at the forefront of those conversations, because we see people impacted by homelessness. We see people impacted by substance use in our communities. And we also need to have somebody who has enough humility to know how to guide us through those spaces.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. But tonight, over there at the Arc Lodge at the movie theater, I'll be hosting a free community movie, Love in the Time of Fentanyl. We're partnering with an organization called Meaningful Movies, which also works with PBS. And we'll be playing a documentary, which is kind of recapping people that have been impacted by the fentanyl fentanyl usage in our community, or just usage in general. I'm really excited about this movie because it's just showing community impacts. We need to be having more conversations. This is not the crack epidemic, ladies and gentlemen. We have community members that are impacted, and some people are trying to use 1990s tools to assist our community members of today, and we have to do more. There has to be safety consumption sites everywhere. So I will put the meeting after this. I'm gonna circle back, and I will put the information in the chat for y'all to check out.
Yeah, and is this the only opportunity to check out that movie?
Well, actually, I was going to ask some community people if you are interested in having this be played. We can do this in person or at a movie theater, as well as online. But I want to continue to spread this conversation around all 39 counties in our community. We've already done 4, and we just have the other ones to go.
Nice. And I love how you guys are having these conversations. A lot of times when people are impacted by HIV or drug use or this fentanyl use, nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's something that we need to start talking about it in community and as a group and in the church. We got to start addressing this and being comfortable to talk about it. And I remember the last time when you were on, you were talking about Vocal Washington. People didn't quite understand the safety usage places.
Yeah.
They didn't get why it was so important. If you can just, I can explain it, but I don't know if you can explain it better. I just feel like it's, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just, because I'm like, look, we could talk, but I just wanted to, because I don't want it to just leave it on you to be educating everybody, but go ahead.
We want to make sure that people just have a safe space.
Yeah.
There are so many of our community members that have been impacted by psychosis. I myself am a person that'll live every day of his life in recovery. But I do have community members that are getting arrested for usage, for using, or because they're going through psychosis, as opposed to giving them proper housing or treatment space if that's what they choose to do. Notice I said if that's what they choose to do, because not everyone is ready to go through that road. But if you watching the documentary is so great, because they've had a safety consumption site out there in Vancouver, Canada, and there has been no deaths in that specific space. And keep in mind, last year we had almost like 2,000 people have experienced overdose in the state. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
And keep in mind, just as many people are dying from alcohol poisoning alcohol related deaths as well, but we don't have that conversation because people don't look at that as a drug either.
Yeah, it's like people pick and choose what sin or what bad thing that they want to use, when it's all
right.
It all ends up being the same thing.
Yeah.
Too much alcohol will kill you. Too much drugs will kill you. Too much abuse will kill you. So
we ain't gonna go there.
Right. So it's like we have to have a serious conversation about that. And what I love about you is, and we're gonna get, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the 100th episode of Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasted live on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Yes.
Okay, I did have a cake made, but I didn't bring it over here, which is fine. You said you're grabbing it. It's huge. I was thinking I was gonna get a small cake, but
no, girl, you gotta do it way big.
Right, way big. We celebrating Valentine's Day and my 100th episode. It's about me. Oh, I learned to celebrate me this year. Oh my God, that's gonna be so hard to celebrate me. But what I was saying is that I love that. I don't know if you noticed this, but you are a part of the community as a whole. Like it's like this whole come together where we're touching on drug uses, we're touching on the HIV pandemic, but we also are touching on mental health.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. I don't know the percentage because I'm not in it, but a lot of drug use is people trying to numb something that has happened to them, or numb the voices in their heads, because mental health wasn't really talked about over the years. So they're going crazy in their psychosis, right? And they're using the drugs to calm that.
Yeah.
But now you work with Vocal, who touches on that, and then you partner or work with Wild Therapy
Fund, VP of Washington Therapy Fund, and love that organization because Ashley Adair is just amazing. Currently, right now, we're starting our peer programs where we have some community leaders that will be where we're partnering with King County, where they'll be paying for peer support.
Nice.
So there'll be some peer support groups. I have something very special planned for community, and I'm partnering with actually one of your relatives to do it. I'm not going to announce it yet, but it's one of those things where we have to start giving our youth an opportunity to figure out their space inside and out.
And I'm happy that we have that space for our youth now, because we didn't really have that space back in the day.
Right.
And why am I saying back in the day like we so old?
Because we only 20.
We only 20. Okay.
But as for Washington Therapy Fund, we have an amazing event that's coming on in July. It's going to be one of our big community events. So for more information, I'll be putting that in the chat too. And if you are interested in learning more about our peer support programs, I will put the Therapy Fund information in there.
Well, honey, you better get clicking away, because we almost done.
I gotta come back in.
Oh, you gotta come back in. Or he'll give me the information and look, I'll post it. I keep saying that, but I be running out of time, y'all. I can only do so much, but for sure, we're gonna post this information. If not on Clean Greens, we'll post it on Women on the Rise, or we'll post it on, I'll share your information that is coming up. Now let's move to build. This man, look, I used to go to school with this teacher, and she was like doing a whole bit, like she had a day job, she taught, she did church work, she did, and I was like, how did she do it all? But look at us, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. Let's talk about Bill. And then if we have enough time, we'll ask him, what does he do for self-care?
Okay. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so Brothers United in Leadership Development. I'm so happy to be a part of their leadership team. We're currently partnering with the Office of Labor Standards through the city of Seattle. And what we're doing is the Office of Labor Standards, and basically we want to make sure community members know their rights. So through the OLS project, we are interviewing we've interviewed some of the investigators for some of those spaces. Like, we need to know about wage theft. You need to know, you need to actually be able to just know your rights of safety when it comes to taking a job. So many community members, their youth for LGBTQIA, they have been discriminated against in those spaces, and sometimes we don't have a safe space. Well, Seattle's the OLS program is actually offering that space, and they chose Bill 206 to lead those efforts. So if you know of anyone that's being discriminated against at their job, or in Seattle, mainly in Seattle, y'all, not outside of, but if you know that somebody's being impacted and their safety's being impacted, and we need to hit up the city of Seattle, hit me up. I'm part of the leadership team, Deontay at build206.com.
Nice. And I love to see Build. I love to see a community of brothers coming together to make sure that their community is okay.
I mean, when I say great people, I mean, we grew up with Isaiah.
Yeah.
He gave us some of the tools that we utilize today. And then we also have Dre Franklin. I appreciate that brother's friendship. I just appreciate outside of the work we're doing with Build, I just appreciate that person just in general. Like no matter where I'm at, he meets me where I'm at.
Nice.
And also holds me accountable to take me where I need to go. And that's appreciated. Next weekend on the 25th, we have a great event with City Hall. We're going to be, Black History Month at City Hall, where we'll be conducting different panel discussions. Dre will be on the panel for economic development, talking to y'all a little bit about Build Black Wealth, while myself and Isaiah Anderson will be conducting the LGBTQ panel, where we'll be interviewing some community members from the LGBTQIA community. And I love Isaiah because he's the one who pushed it, because what Build wants to do is push the conversations with cisgender hetero community members and our LGBTQIA community members in the diaspora Black to have these conversations. They need to be put at the forefront.
Nice.
And I appreciate them to say that. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah.
I can't be there because I'll be on.
You'll be graduating, but I'll be coming back to your house. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I didn't want to be mean. I want to be like, I hope you make it in time. No, just joking. You guys, okay, speaking of celebrating myself, February 25th, please go check out Bill. But yes, sis is graduating. She is graduating. This is a big year. 100th episode, graduating college. That took me some time to fight. We are breaking generational practices. And let's take this off. Look.
Okay, Costco. Where she got it from?
Honey, okay, because Costco cake is the only one that I do it. Can you see this?
Oh! Take a picture of that, Daniel. We got you a piece.
You also gonna bring it on the way home. It's so funny behind that cake. My husband went out and got it, and in my mind, I thought it was gonna say 100 episodes, but 100th anniversary works too. Thanks, Julian. Shout out to Julian, who supports me no matter what, even when I'm being a little smarty pants. I think I learned
always being a smarty pants.
I think I learned smarty pants is my love language, and I'm trying to learn his love language, which is softness. I'm trying to learn to be soft.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. And vulnerable. Okay, so Deontay, we have time.
Okay.
What do you do for self-care?
You know what? I can honestly tell you, sis, that is a journey that I'm still on. I think one of the things that I have been doing is just resting. Take it nope, I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm just gonna take a nap.
Nice.
Y'all gonna do that project? We'll go. If you feel like you want to rush me on it, okay. Well, maybe this isn't for me. I just want to be able to take my time for me. It's been boundaries. It's a hard journey, leaning into yourself. And I don't know if there's anybody that's been on the call. It's so great for us to be of service to community folks, and be of service religiously, right? Or be of service just to community folks. But that lean into yourself is scary. It can be so scary because you're triggered, and then you go into therapy. Mm-hmm. So you're triggering things that younger Deontay is being impacted by. So I am figuring out. I'm gonna get back to you. I'll be on 150 episodes, so we can get back to that. But
milestones.
But I'm in a space of really leaning into me, and there's some ugly space. There's some ugly parts there, but it's the beauty in me, and I have to find it. So I'm still on that journey.
I feel like you kind of answered the question too. With I'm taking that time to just say no when I can't do it. Yeah, and that's a start. That's hard. Like I've been setting boundaries for myself and others and how people treat me this year. And then I have a life coach.
Okay, life coach.
I have a life coach right now.
She's a life coach.
Life coach who's helping me. And one of the things that I recognized within myself when I was taking her, they have you do this test to see where you're at in things. Mm-hmm. And I scored low with taking care of me, but high in taking care of others. Ooh. Right. And so I had
to have her on here. Maybe you ain't on here. I don't know how you want to do that.
Oh, you want to? I can have her on, and you want? Yes. And then so we've been talking. We were really leaning into those celebrating you. So it was really hard for me to even celebrate 100 episodes. Say out loud that I'm graduating. And then just even thinking like my last week of school, my last month of school, 2.5 weeks in, I was at a D, and I almost gave up. I was like, okay, sis, you ain't graduating. You're going to have to take another month. But I just prayed, and my academic advisor reached out to me and gave me steps and tools to do stuff. And I connected with my teacher, and I finished that last class with a B, And I need to celebrate
for
that.
Breon, okay?
B for baddie.
This is the church show. So
Oh yeah. Let me put the tongue back in. But no, it's just like celebrating yourself and taking that moment. But boundaries, learning to just say, I can't.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm starting to do too. Like, I can't do this, and being okay with it. So like when Tom was like, you don't have to come, I felt so seen and not feeling like I need to go run and jump and be every which way.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are taking that time and it's a process.
Yeah.
So thank you for being honest.
Well, I have to keep it real.
Yeah. And honey, we over here tackling these ugly things that are inside of us because we thought we was perfect.
Right.
I can't believe this. We came from New Hope Baptist Church and everybody in that church is perfect.
Yes.
But anyways. But I just want to make sure, I want to thank everybody again. Thank you, Daniel D Money.
What's up, D?
He is behind the scenes, always keeping me laughing, always helping me. And you know what? When I ask him for advice, he never gives it. And I'm trying to learn that. It's not that he doesn't give it. He asks you follow-up questions for you to get it, for you to figure it out. So we can never say, he said. Yeah. And I like that about you, Daniel. I'm like, well, what did you think? He'd be like, well, what did you think? And so it's just like, but I love how he makes you think and get to that yourself. So I appreciate everything you're doing. And shout out to Tony Benton for letting us.
Shout out Tony. I see him Sunday at the Safeway.
Oh, and go check out Rainier Avenue Radio's Black History Month Museum. Please check it out. It has a lot of history. It was so much fun. We got to go see it at the grand opening. I want to go back. I was able to see it with a few leaders in the community and just had a good old time. And that is it for our show today. Thank you for tuning in to Clean Green Living's 100th episode, broadcasted live on Rainier Avenue Radio, a Black-owned radio station in Seattle. Hello, Black History Month. Shout out to Tony Benton, who was always making sure to highlight Black voices. Bye.
Have a good one.